Good morning. Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw Doering, and today we've got some Jentel. Got a little bit more Jentel. I didn't write down. All right, good enough. And then we're going to talk about, I don't know what's going on there, reading energies. Okay, that's going to bug me the whole time. All right. Let's see who we got in chat today. Hello. Hi, everyone. Looks like everything's working good. I had a little trouble connecting there. I apologize for being late. With StreamYard here. Or it could be my area. Not aware of any outages or anything. Looks like we got good bars right now, so let's do it. Okay, so I've got lots to talk about with Thoughts Over Coffee. I mean, it's a really big subject, reading energies, but today we're going to focus on what we're putting out there. And not, focusing on reading the energy fields that we step into of people, but also something that we overlook is, what are we projecting? Could we be contributing to the reactions of others? Just things like that. So we're going to talk about that. Write that down. Okay, so yesterday on Real News Live on Rumble with Mike and Jen, I put out Jentel for 9/16/2024. And if you missed that, you can go over to Rumble and watch that now. I don't know why I look like I'm all red or something. The lighting is weird in here today, but whatever. So this is interdimensional meditation with Archangel Michael and Gabriel for 9/16/2024. RV News. Iraq's rate is published on screens that the public cannot see. It's agreed upon. It's there. They know it. We're waiting for some kind of announcement and public reveal. Okay? I asked, why not public yet? And Gabriel told me the plan is to make it public today through Wednesday. That was Monday. I said, why are we waiting? And he said, 4x down. Planned attack will fail. They may let the anticipated release, like today, which was Monday, we saw that already, pass. They may let that day pass to throw the enemy off and then post or make an announcement, get a street rate when that enemy has lost interest and is no longer a threat. So sounds like they had some kind of threat. Okay. And then Michael said again that he told us before, in the dark of night, when no one is looking, this will happen. Today I asked this morning, okay, where are we at? It's real quiet. It was real quiet yesterday. I'm thinking that what he was telling us about some kind of planned attack, 4x with the 4x or whatever, they're going to just, that's what happened. Okay. I asked this morning. I got tonight, possibly in tomorrow morning. And that would probably, we're looking at Iraq right now. We're looking at them posting at an in-country rate. And or getting notifications. I'm not sure at this point in time what would come first. Mike Barra said yesterday on the show that it would make more sense for them to put out notifications first and then post rate. I agree with that. I think that would be more streamlined. I think that would work out better than posting the rate and people just running to the banks and missing that notification. So this is section coming in the news. The military is holding the minions at bay. Gabriel uses the word minions. We do that. Minions means bad guys. Okay, so in this sense, we're talking about those that have been flooding the borders, those sleeping cells that they have out in, some abandoned school building in the woods, whatever, in some apartment complex, just waiting for orders to come out and create chaos. So the military are holding the minions at bay. So the military knows where they are, most of them. They know the military is in place, so they're not going to try something major. They can, send a few scouts out to create chaos here and there. And then political news, we got Kamala, documents found. After that, we got Biden, lost. And when I did this, I was thinking, oh, okay, lost, like where's Biden? Like nobody can find him or something like that, which is highly unlikely. I mean, as far as we know, and the news knows, that's likely that he could be hidden. But to completely lose, the person who's acting as president of the United States, probably unlikely. So Mike Barrett was saying yesterday, well, documents found and Biden lost. That could be about the 2020 election, and that that could come at a time, because we didn't get any time periods on coming in the news. That could come at a time when they're ready to pull him out. The dark side's plan is to pull him out and put her in. And if they're getting close to that politically, and that's the plan, is to Biden lost, pull him out, documents found concerning Kamala. She can't run for president. She can't step in as vice president. And if that's what the dark side is planning, then they got to get this already done now. So I'm real hopeful for tonight into tomorrow. Then we've got rollout begins Nasara Jasara. I mean, and that we wouldn't have like an announcement. We could have an announcement. That would be more fun. That would be better. But you're going to start seeing all the pieces of Nasara coming together in the public. And you guys will know it's that. I've always said they're not going to call it that. Because the whole thing, there's two Nasara Jasaras out there that are searchable. There's one that is the real plan, which is, I believe, has been altered in a little bit. And then there's one that was put out that is corrupted, pretty much. So they're not going to use the same name for this. Then the last thing, then we got Tennessee and illegals. I heard those two things pretty close together. I did hear Tennessee before illegals, so I don't think illegals should be in the rollout begins for Nasara Jasara. I think it stands alone, and I think it's associated with Tennessee. So we'll have to see what's happening in Tennessee. So keep your eyes open for that. And then last thing I got, a voice heard around the world. And I said, regarding what? And he said, you'll see. Now, could that be a public announcement of a rate change in Iraq? Could that be, once that happens, that the rest of the countries, could it be a BRICS announcement? We don't know. But a voice heard around the world is a major announcement. So we've got these things coming. No timeline on that. This could be tomorrow, could be today, could be a month from now. I don't know. So that's the Jentel for this week. Today, when I asked, we're still going. Plan's still in place. Okay. We're still looking for a rate change. We're still looking for notifications. I feel like, I heard that could happen tonight into tomorrow. We got information that there was something going on, that they were going to take the Forex down, or there was going to be an attack, and they might let the day pass that everybody's expected. Were expected to happen to handle that situation. Kind of looks like they did that. So we'll see how this progresses, and hopefully we have nothing else to screw it up. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's talk about some things. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if I'm having like some kind of episode because I feel like I'm really like red, but maybe that's just the way I look on my screen. My hair is like, I don't know. So if I pass out, just call somebody for me. All right. I don't have time for that. Worry about that. Okay. Now, once again, I text myself all of my thoughts over coffee, so I'm going to try to put this together so it makes sense. And I do have a point. Do you have a point? Okay. So, when you learn about how we function as a soul, and you start learning about what happens to the soul when you die, learning about all these things, when that happens, some of the fear falls away. And people, when the fear falls away, people will have more experiences. Okay. What you're really doing is just that. You're just deciding, once the fear falls away, to be more in tune to that. And when that happens, you're going to be more in tune to energies. You're going to be more aware of it. And so you're going to more consciously process the energy fields that you step into than you did before. It's not that, I was learning about mediumship and now my house is haunted. No, it's just that, you're probably a medium this whole time. You've been led to this information now because you're at a point in your life when you have the time and the energy to look into it, and it may be useful in the future. You've learned more about it, and so you've pulled down some of those walls that are blocking this all this time. And so you're just becoming more aware. And as we do that, we're going to become more aware of how we're going to be more affected by the energies that we step into. And we may not understand it. Some of you have been doing this a long time. You'll understand it. But we become wiser and wiser the more that we learn and the more steps that we take on our journey. So we become aware of the energies around us. It's nothing new. It's not just that, I can read energy fields. Everybody's reading energy fields every moment of every day. Everyone. And reacting to them. We've just become aware of it. And so now that we've become aware of this, just as though you've become aware of a problem in your life and now you can address it, we've become aware of this, and so now we become more wise. We start to pick it apart. Okay, how can I use this to live a better life? How can I use this to act and react in a more productive way? How can I understand myself and these other people better because of what I'm picking up now? Um, it's going to be the same concepts as conscious creation. I've been teaching you conscious creation as I think about it because that's what I'm learning right now. So that's what's going to happen. I'm not going to teach you everything, and I haven't. Because there'll be a book someday. Um, but what I'm doing is giving you bits and pieces that'll help you along with your journey now, and when you go out to be who you will be soon. Okay, whether that's very small within your own family, within your own business, or go out and help thousands of people. Okay, you're going to come in contact with people, and it's going to be very important, even if you have a lot of money. It's very important to understand where's this person's coming from, what their motives are. You're not going to know everything. Okay. But you can kind of get an idea of what a person, their true intentions are. Most of the time, some people are pretty deceiving. They're pretty hard to read, but most of the time you could navigate this new life better. Okay. And maybe even just help what's going on in your own family right now. Now we understand that when we walk into these energy fields at work, at school, with people, at the store, wherever we go, that's what they're projecting. That is what's housed within the energy field is huge and they all intermingle in truth. But we've got a concentration, just like let's think about it as like a campfire. Okay. The closer you stand to that fire, the hotter it is. The more concentrated that heat is. And the further you move away from it, the less and less you feel it. That's what I'm talking about right here. This is the center of your being right here. We're not going to get too specific with this because it gets very complicated. But let's just say as a human being right now, this is where it's at. This is where I see the shining light in spirits and people. Okay. That's the highest concentrated place. And so that's where we want to create from. That's where we want to pull our truth from. But it's also where you're sucking in the energies of others around you. And empaths, which most humanitarians are empaths, an empath is like the air cleaner of the world. Okay. And they're very needed. Because if we didn't have them, everybody would probably have perished and died. Because what they do unconsciously is they pull in when somebody comes to you and they're telling you about their terrible day and they're just, oh my God, and blah, 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 blah. They'll dump on you. You're not consciously doing this. And you can shield yourself from doing this, but what you're doing is you're sucking that energy in to your cleaner and putting it out clean. And that is why negative people find you. Mystery solved. Everybody's like, why does everybody find me? I mean, why do I attract these people? Well, because they feel great around you. And you feel like crap after they around them. And they can be very charming to pull you in because they gotta have you. You're their healer, you're their cleaner. So what an empath does is read the energies that they're dumping, that is coming in, and they're good counsel because they know what that person needs. They see behind the words and everything, and they know what they really need, and they try to fix it because they're an empathetic soul. Okay? And so that is true. And so first, we know that, and we can get into that yes, we can read the energy fields of a room, a collective energy field that's, all these campfires blending together. How hot is it in here? And some people will say, oh my God, I was fine. And then I got to work, I got to the office, and then these people these people, they're so negative. I just had a terrible day, and I'm going to take my terrible day home. I'm going to spread it, and I'm going to share it with everyone, because I'm cleansing. Well, I've taught you. Okay, you start sucking in that energy. We're going to take the information from that. But we're going to understand that that's somebody else's stuff. And so we're going to get rid of that quickly. And the way I've taught you guys to do that, God, send me your light, very quick. You don't have to say it out loud. It's a visualization, okay? It's actually true and it's actually happening. Imagination is the beginning of creation. So what you're going to imagine is, God, send me your light. I want you to imagine this beam of light coming down through the top of your head and all through your chakras and filling you up till bursting. And then I want you to, and it surrounds all that negative sludge, everything that you have accumulated. And then we're going to take that light and we're going to push it back up into the white light of the Holy Spirit. And we're going to say, be clean. Thank you, God. And so that's how you move through that process quicker when you've been exposed to a lot of negative energy. And you'll feel it. You'll feel the difference. And so it's like, okay, now I don't have to retreat away from society for a day or two just to cleanse this away naturally. I'm aware of it now. I'm aware of where it came from. I'm aware that that wasn't mine. That wasn't my stuff. Thank you, Carissa. I'm aware that that's not mine. So I don't have to keep it. It's not something that I have to solve or work through or anything. I've done the work. I've done the counsel. And we'll get back into a little bit more of how we can better help somebody and be better counsel by reading those energies a little bit later. But I did put that in the notes further down, and I don't want to miss anything. But one thing I've become aware of in our wisdom that we've been accumulating, we don't want to stay in the place where most people have been all this time and look for all the reasons out there as to why we feel a certain way. We don't want to stay in the place where we blame everybody else in every other situation for our feelings. We need to own that now. And we need to decide consciously, is this something I need to work through? Could I be contributing to this? For example, let's get an example. Okay, let's say you work in an office, big office. Like I was saying before, and you're fine. Then you walk in and you don't say a word. You go and sit at your desk and you notice the energies around you. That's the first thing that hits you. Okay. Then you start thinking. Now you see so-and-so's got a frown on their face and so-and-so slammed the door and whatever. Somebody's letting the phone ring and they're over there on their phone because they don't care that they're there. Nobody wants to be there and everybody's in a bad mood. Okay, so you have a choice in that situation. Do I allow myself? So this is thought control, which is very important. Do I allow myself to join in? So most people do. Most people do. When they're unconscious about all of this, they go into the office. Great. I hate these people. I don't want to be here now. This is going to be a crappy day. I got to deal with those jerks all day long. I'm miserable. Okay. Well, you've just made a choice about how you're going to spend your day. And so nobody else is aware of what's going through your mind. And maybe they're just stuck in the norm. All right, this is normal. This is normal. They're going about their day. Your perception of their energy, they're not picking up on the energy yet, but they walk by your cubicle. and you're over there and the wheels are turning and you hate everything and you don't want to be there, blah, 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 and your energy field hits them, it's made theirs worse. So think about clean energy fields, and you just threw a bunch of dirty smog into their energy field and just added to theirs, and now they're more pissed off. And then you see them walk by and you're like, yeah, I hate that one too. And you're more pissed off. And so you're contributing, you're churning this cycle. You're building and allowing this to happen to you. Now, you can't control everything that everybody else is doing, but from what I taught you, you can help the situation along. Even if you don't do anything on a spiritual level to cleanse a room or to blast it, you can be that force of light within that day and walk around. Best way to do this, start complimenting people. Not false information. Notice something about them. And say, you notice somebody who's like been struggling with their weight, and they look like, well, she's really had a rough morning, man. She really doesn't have it put together today. And you see them and they look at you and their eyes are just beautiful. And you say, you have the most beautiful eyes. Wow. That is truth. Okay. Let it be truth. Speak the truth, because the truth will pierce through the negativity. And even if they deny it, even say, oh my God, I look terrible. What are you talking about? Thank you. The smile comes. For a moment, they forgot all of that. And you pierce through that negative cloud and put some sunshine in there. And you think, oh, they're going to dismiss it immediately. They've rejected my compliment, whatever. Mm-mm. They're going to think about that. It's going to keep coming back all day, because the energy of truth and love, that is a loving thing to do. That was a loving intention. And just as when you blast somebody with God's light, with God's truth, it can blast away darkness. That loving intention and that truth, that comment got through. That's one way that you can lighten the mood, and you can in just one person. Now, that person, love is contagious. That person may just go on and compliment somebody else and may be inspired to do so, and it starts spreading. And then by 3 o'clock, is the office laughing? Is it lighter? Probably. People are their own worst enemies in their own mind. They will tell themselves that they are unworthy and they are, ugly and fat and stupid and all these things, and they're not productive, and everybody hates me and nobody loves me. And I'm going to go eat some worms. That's what we used to say. But those are lies. Truth pierces through the lies. And sometimes when somebody, walks up to you, let's say in the lunchroom, and then they start dumping, they're telling you everything about your day, and you're thinking, you know what, lady, I cannot take one more. Something just hit my chair. That was weird. Okay. Okay. All right. Called in the team, take care of it. It's paranormal season, so that can happen. So, all right, so we're in the lunchroom, and you're just like, I cannot take your crap. I got enough of my own. Now I got to sit here and I got to listen to Lucy, and she's going to tell me everything about her mother and her, grown children and the alcoholic, husband and everything else, and I got to listen to all of it again. Stop. This is not yours to feel. We're going to take that information, because we know we're doing Lucy a service right now. She's unloading on us, but we're cleaning that. So be aware that you're cleaning that. Don't like suck in everything from Lucy, because that's probably not a good idea. All right. We don't want to do that. You're already doing it naturally. Okay. But what we can do while we're talking to Lucy is we can say, God, send me light. And we can have a giant beam of light coming down into us. And when Lucy's dirty energy starts coming into us here, we can just keep pushing that out clean and send it right back up the white light of the Holy Spirit, and let it be cleaned away. And so you're going to keep pulling more of this negative energy in from Lucy. She's going to voice what's going on with her. Then you need to come back when you feel like, before the conversation is over, and hit Lucy with some positive truths. We need to pierce through the lies and give her something to take with her. Okay? You guys feel like I'm just like so emotional. Well, I am. But like, you know, it's such a love fest over here with me, which I'm not, okay, it is. All right? I love people. Okay? And I hate holding that back. So if I see something about you and I see you struggling, I'm going to tell you everything positive that I think about you. I'm going to remind you of all the goodness and the truths and everything about you, and I'm going to make sure you know it. And if you don't listen to me, I'll make you listen to me. So that I know that at least you walked away with something that's going to get you through this. And the more I love you, the more forceful I'm going to be. I'm not going to be weird about it. But this is what you can do. And in turn, your day will be lighter. And your energy field will be cleaner. And this will spread. And this is how you change the world. One person at a time. One act. What was it? Like there was a movie. I think it was Bruce Almighty or something. Was it Bruce? It was Evan Almighty. One act. Morgan Freeman. One act of random kindness. Okay? I don't even know how they allowed that to be slipped into a movie, but that's fabulous. I was all over that when that happened. Also, the whole opportunity to be strong thing in that movie. Go and watch Evan Almighty. We can be those little angels now. It's not forced. Nothing divine is forced. We don't come up to people and say, hey, here, let me blast you with some light. And oh my God, you're so beautiful and weird, blah, 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 like falling all over them. That's weird. People don't accept it. Okay. But when given the opportunity, hold back. If they ask you, what do you think I should do? Then tell them what you think you should do. But most of the time, people just need you to listen. Most of the time, they're just dumping. Most of the time, they just need an ear. They're processing. It's built up. It's too much on that day for them to carry anymore. And they saw you instinctively, not consciously. They know you're an empath. That's why it's coming out in the lunchroom. Okay? You may be even drawn to say, how you doing today? And there it is, half hour later. Okay? Don't jump to the place where this is totally overwhelming and annoying and I don't want to listen to this and I really don't care what's happening to you. If you really don't care what's happening to them, then this talk isn't for you. Okay? This is for the people that are going to go out and they do care and they do try and they do want to help and they do want to be of assistance. Take the opportunity when you see that window, when you see them getting really low, and you say, hey, listen, you're a good person. You're a beautiful person. You try really hard, and that's evident, and you'll make it through this. Just do the best you can every day, something like that. Or if you don't have the opportunity, make somebody laugh. That's another way. If you can't get through on a personal level, like make somebody laugh. You ever wonder why I'm so funny? I think I'm kind of funny sometimes, but so funny all the time, or I find humor and everything. I've always been that way. That's like a natural instinct of mine. All right, all right, all right. How can we lighten the situation? I'm always looking for the joy. I'm looking for the funny. I'm looking for the love. And I find it because that is my intention. It's not always conscious. It's learned now. You know, I find humor in most situations, and maybe some inappropriate situations I'll think things are funny, but you know, um but make somebody laugh, make somebody smile, make something easier, something little things here. Now when it's with your family, it can be as small as seeing your kid leave for school, especially girls. Any kind of compliment on that day is going to help their entire day. And it may be rejected because, oh, you're my mom. You're supposed to think I'm beautiful, blah, blah, blah. You are the voice in their head. And that will pop out when they are at their lowest and thinking, I'm not beautiful, or I'm not smart, or I'm not capable. I mean, guys, you say, hit it out of the park today. I mess with the kids. All right. Totally embarrassing. There's my son. There's my smart son, or I learned this a long time ago when Faith was a baby, the first baby. And when I was a kid, I could not stand any kind of suffering. Couldn't stand it. I'd be in the store with my mom and a kid's crying. I cannot stand it. It's not that it was annoying to me. It's not that, oh, that's annoying. The kid is making noise. Make it stop. It was like, we have to do something right now to fix this. We have to do something. They're suffering. So when I had kids, I am not a good disciplinary because of this, okay? I let everything go way too long, give too many chances. Then everybody's screwed. Okay, when I finally get around to it, and it's like, okay, well, you've had 11 to 12 chances to clean that room or to do whatever it was, and now you pushed it way too far, and now you're in trouble. And then I say, why does everybody push it too far? Why doesn't it happen for me? I mean, like, well, why don't they just do things the first time? Because you allow it, Jen, and they've learned that that's what they can get away with, and so that's what happens. But in the beginning, when I was growing up, so many times I should have done things for myself, but I knew that it was going to hurt somebody else, or they were going to be disappointed, or whatever. Stayed in relationships longer than I should because I can't stand suffering. So when I had a baby, they cry. Okay. I was on it. Tuning into this kid. Okay, what do we need? What's coming? She's starting to make a movement. She's starting to show some, she's upset. What do we got? Okay, we got food, clean, happiness. All check off all the boxes, and the kid rarely cried. Faith rarely cried. So she's spoiled. Okay. That was me. That's my fault. So what was my point? Kids spoiled. I contributed to that situation. Can't stand suffering. So shit, I'll come back around to it. This is why I write things down so I don't trail off. All right, so this is how we're contributing to and be aware of the situations in our life. So we may become very upset, like I said, when people don't do things when you ask them to do it. Are you allowing that? Have you trained them that is okay? Yes, I did. Every last one of them. Okay? So we need to become aware of our part in these energetic connections. What we're putting out there. our connection to it. Are we choosing to be part of all of the jerks in the office in the bad mood that day? Or are we choosing to be an active part in the collective energy around us? Is there anything that we can do to lighten that? Is there anything we can do inside ourselves to lighten that? And there absolutely is. This is what so the reason I teach these things, the concept of waking up, it's not just about becoming aware of all the political and bad things that have gone on in the world. It's about understanding who we are as a soul, what's coming at us, how we're processing that unconsciously, and how we're contributing to that collective energy. Oh, I remember now. Okay. Damn. So stupid. So kid spoiled, all right? Because I was so on it. I didn't want her to suffer at all, suffer any kind of pain, disappointment, anything ever. 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 So I started telling her our input, we think it doesn't get in there, but it is. It's recorded. The more times you tell somebody something, and we've seen this with negativity, you tell somebody they're fat over and over again, they'll believe they're fat, even if they're not. Tell somebody they're stupid, they become more and more stupid. You tell somebody they're aging, they start to age really fast. So, when your children or your family leave for the day, you want to throw in some positive reinforcement there, or whenever you see the chance, because it's recorded, especially from a parent or someone they care about. Faith. Here's the point of the story. When she was little, I told her she was smart over and over again and that was truth, because I recognized it. I was so involved with her, so in tune with her. I'm like, you are so smart. Look at how smart you do. That, we were driving around at 3 years old. She talked really, really early, and it was freaky. She couldn't even roll over yet, and she was talking. I was like, that's freaky. But she had like a vocabulary of like 40 words by the time she was 11 months old. That was freaky. So, I mean, she was so smart, but was she that smart because I kept telling her that every day? You're going to do so good at that. You're so smart. You're so smart. You're so smart. When she was 3 years old, we'd drive around the town, and she would get so upset in the back seat. And I'm like, what's the matter? And I'm thinking, I'm on everything. I've got everything under control. I've made sure that you are completely happy in every way. What's the matter with you? She's like pointing at the street signs. What's that say? What's that say? And I'm like, my God, she's upset because she can't read it. Taught her to read. It was really easy. So then she gets to kindergarten, okay? And I've told this story a million times, but we're in kindergarten, and it's an orientation parent, and they're like, okay. Sorry about the light. Okay, well, so by the end of the year, your child should have to know how to read like 3-letter words, small, and know all their numbers and letters and the sounds and everything else and their colors and this and that, and be able to read small words by the end of the year. And everybody's like raising their hand, like, what if that's a problem? Like, what if they can't do that? And I'm over in the back going, what if she could do that 2 years ago? So they're like, see me after class. So we had to put Faith in a first grade class along with kindergarten so she knew, had the social lessons, but to keep her going. But because I spoiled her so much, she got lazy later on in life and went back to regular classes. But that's my fault. So this positive reinforcement these compliments, we hold back from that socially because people are going to like, well, I can't compliment a man. He's going to think I love him or something and I'm married or, I can't compliment somebody. People get uncomfortable with that because they're not used to it. But recognizing someone's strengths and recognizing or knowing exactly what they need to hear right now, you don't have to know exactly what's going on in their mind because you won't. That's private. But even just complimenting, like I do this with older people in the store all the time. I usually have a line of like older people following me around in the grocery stores and stuff. They find me. I mean, they just start talking to me. And I'm thinking, well, these people are older. They've probably accumulated a lot of negative energy over the years. And they see me and they don't know why, but they just got to tell me the whole life story. They got to get it out. And I'm like, so I listen. And then I compliment them and they walk away smiling. And that's probably, and I know that this could be the only outing that person has in a week's time. And I might be one of the only people that they talk to. Should I think that that's annoying? Am I really that so busy that I can't recognize an opportunity like that? We shouldn't be. You don't have to stand there all day and talk to the person, but you can listen. And they're telling me, oh, I'm dealing with this and I'm dealing with that. Just telling them, but you're so strong. Everything's going to be okay. They'll hear that in their head. They'll remember that's all they did that week. That's going to be playing over and over and over. And is there a chance that they will be strong and everything will be okay? Yeah. Especially if we're creating our reality with thought. So we really have to think about the energy, opportunities we take to participate in the negative or to diffuse it. Okay? Something you got to remember to do. Some people just good at it. They've been doing it their whole lives. Now, a lot of these people you will find over time that takers will find givers. And givers will find takers. And sometimes the giver doesn't have anyone given back. And that can be lonely. You might have a lot of friends, you might have a lot of associates, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, is there anybody who's doing that for you? Sometimes there isn't. And as much as you guys love me, and I know that you're out there, and I love you, I've been in that position many times. I always find myself in that position, and that is sad. And so who do we lean on then? Who's our hero then? Who is there for us then? And I've heard this. I've had the opportunity over many years, just like a psychologist. Here's the worst of it, okay? I do too, but I also hear the best of it. I've heard many, many stories. And what you do in that period of time, it's not a forever period of time. It never is. You lean on God. You say, God, all the people I have in my life need me to be there for them, and there is no one there for me. I need you to be my hero. I need you, just like that Footprints poem, Jesus, I need you to carry me through this time because I've kind of found myself in a place where I really don't have anybody to do anything for me. Okay? And I've heard that through many stories of givers for years. And I'm like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I mean, I do. And so the other part of this is if you find yourself in that situation, I'm trying to address a vast topic in a short period of time. The other part of that, so if you find yourself in that place, doesn't mean nobody loves you. It just means you're the rock. Okay? There's always a rock. There's always the glue. And that is you, if you are standing in that place. And that's when we lean on God. That's when you ask for it. And how do we move on from there? Will it always be this way? Will there be anybody ever to do anything for me? Blah, blah, blah. Cry it out. Valid. Valid feelings. Yes, there will. Sometimes we're put in these positions to grow. Sometimes you come into a life just to be a rock. But when you're putting out love, love will find you. When you're putting out peace, peace will find you. It's the law of the universe. You draw to you, and I learned it years ago in one simple sentence that they gave to me. You draw to you that which you project. And so we have to take a look at that. Even if right now it feels like you're standing alone and everybody's just sucking off of you and everybody's wanting from you and nobody's really giving to you, and every time you turn around there's something else to do. It never stays that way for long. That's a period of time, a block of time where you just stepped into being the rock for that time. Someone will come along because that kind of giving will be returned to you eventually. Everybody's always looking for the happily ever after. Everybody's always looking for forever in whatever situation. Do I have to solve forever now? They'll ask me, is this forever now? Sometimes I'm like, I don't really want to tell you because right now you're okay. Why would I screw it up early? I mean, but life is a series of chapters. Your book of life, isn't it? And in each chapter, the character goes through different things. And has different some characters exit and some enter. And it makes for a good story. And it makes for a well-rounded experience. Okay? And the more you grow in wisdom and the more you give, more chances are you're going to be that rock. And some of us want to be that rock. I wouldn't stop being the rock for anything. I'm not giving up on people. I'm not going to let them go under. But, the rock starts to crumble after a while. And I'm putting it back together with glue and duct tape and stuff. It's okay, I mean, the rock. All storms end. All dark nights end. It's all a bunch of chapters. It's all a bunch of phases. And all you got to do is make it to the next one and turn the page. Okay? And along the way, you could actually ask for assistance. You could ask for somebody to be that for you. And most of us, and most humanitarians I call them humanitarians, but they're the givers. Most givers, they don't ask. Because there's been so many times when they did ask that everybody's like, what a hassle. Or they don't do it. We have to remember to ask because a lot of you don't ask. Maybe you could go to your husband or your wife and say, hey, can you handle this? Because I've got too much. I need someone to be there for me right now. And what people don't do is they don't communicate effectively. They don't speak that truth. They don't let it come from here. It comes from here. What am I going to say to get them to do this? And they'll come at somebody with all the reasons why this person has failed them and then ask them to be there for them. Nope. That person's going to jump to defense immediately. That's not how you communicate. And people have described me as, oh, well, she's so deep. Well, no, I actually just speak the truth, okay? So I'll come at you and I'll say, listen, all right, listen, here's where we're at. I love what I do, but I'm tired, okay? And I need you to be here for me. Could you possibly do this for me? Because I feel like I need some rest. Oh, yeah, I'll do that. I don't come at the person and say, you know what? I am exhausted because, you jerks never help me around here. And this is all the way that you failed me. Why don't you step up to the plate and do it now? You're not going to get anything out of that. You're not going to get anything out of that. Walls up immediately because they're not listening to you. What they're thinking, oh, I've been insulted. What am I going to say when she stops talking to redeem myself? That's what they're thinking. You're not going to get anywhere with that. Speak your truth. Truth is very cleansing. Even if it's a terrible situation and somebody's coming at you, and let's say they think you're the problem, and they're miserable, and they're telling you all the reasons, or insulting you, or just unloading on you and trying to make you miserable because they are. One thing I learned is, okay, that's abusive. I don't like that. I'm going to have to think about that. And then you leave. Just diffuse the whole situation. Now that person's over there thinking she's going to have to think about that. What's she thinking? What's she going to do? Blah, 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 blah. It's not that you're messing with somebody. It's that you just got them all to stop thinking about themselves and to stop being abusive and to stop projecting all this out. Now they're back. Well, what have I done? What could she possibly have against me? And then they start analyzing themselves. And first of all, it takes the heat off of you. Second, they're going to think twice before doing that again. There's the cat. Do you see the tail? Charles. Come here, Charles. So now that we're aware of this, the exchange of energies, our participation in our energetic fields, how they interact with the other ones, what we're coming into contact with, how we can protect. Now, I taught you psychic protection. God send me your light. Always starts with that. We bring the light into the body. And if we're in a terribly negative situation, it's just too much to deal with, put that bubble around us. Okay? Stay. Now it's all bouncing off the bubble. It's not imagination. It's the way a soul protects itself. You can do that. And that is effective. But when you're dealing with people that you interact with all the time, it might be a little more effective to diffuse the situations, to pierce, be that angel, and pierce that negative cloud and put those seeds of positivity in there. Give them the compliments. Give them the encouragement. Listen to it. Cleanse it. Start doing this consciously. Do it for yourself. Cleanse yourself away. I'm constantly thinking about everything everybody's ever done to me. You're too weighted down. If I'm thinking about everything that's happened to me over the last 4 years, I'm thinking about everything I've endured, everything I'm carrying. We need to take those heavy rocks out of that backpack one by one. We don't have to address them again. We can do it real quick by bringing that light down in and just cleansing. Just imagine this brown mist coming out of you when you do that and going back up into the white light of the Holy Spirit. That's where we want to send it because they know exactly what to do with that. You don't have to figure out where it goes. Jesus is our Savior. Okay? What did he teach his disciples to do? To go out and be saviors. To take away the pain. To take away, to illuminate the lies. To give them the truth. It's all the same stuff. The words are different. The situation is different. The time is different. And they've told us, well, you go out and you preach the word. No, you go out and you do the work. You do the work. And it's addicting because it's fun. You see this person broken and battered and they come to you and you have an opportunity without saying anything other than that positive input or by that maybe that possible solution in your mind. You're sitting like, well, they're looking for a solution. Am I going to give them my solution? Well, I've kind of been taught some things. Maybe I could just ask God quietly in my mind, God, can you put an idea in my mind to offer to them to help them in this situation? That's a missionary. One person, one moment, one situation at a time for you and for them. And that is how you change the world. Okay? All right. Get off the soapbox here. Let's see if we got anything else. Probably not going to get to questions. See if I missed anything. That is a lesson for the day. Try it quietly. When you do this, you also remove yourself from the place where when somebody's understand what they're really doing. Read that energy field. Does it feel like an attack? Take your personal feelings out of it and just stop for a minute. Even if some of the things, even if it's somebody in your own family, even if some of the things that they're saying you want to defend yourself against, just stop for a second. Be an observer. That's why I've learned most things by being an observer. Like with Faith, I told her over and over again that she was smart, and she was. My sister told me over and over again, I wasn't fat, okay? I was not fat. She's just real thin. But she told me that was what she had against me because she had nothing else. Oh, you're fat. And I used to call her stupid when we were children. I'm like, well, you're stupid, So she called me fat. I call her stupid. And then over time, I noticed Shelley started believing what I said when I was a kid. It was like second grade. She started believing it. So I never called her stupid again. But she's only called me fat. So what am I? Just a little bit fat. I mean, is that way in there? Do I really believe that? And have I called myself that over and over again every day? Yeah. Maybe we could stop doing that too. Maybe, I'm working on it. Are we creating these situations in our life because of our programming? And we have seen that throughout society, from society's programming. It's like, oh, that's beautiful. No, oh, nope. Trends have changed. I'm sorry, that's not beautiful. You're not beautiful anymore. Oh, okay, well, you're smart if you know this. Oh, sorry, you're stupid now. Because we're not smart anymore if we know that. We're smart if we know this. How high is the benchmark? Where is it that you become accepted? Where is it where you become in a society what you're supposed to be? Who's the voice saying this? That develops our personal opinion about ourselves, our identity. We give power to all these voices Is it the kid on the playground? Is it your dad? Is it your mom? Is it the first love? Is it your sister? And without assigning blame to them, just identify that. Where is this really coming from? You know, was it the little boy that I liked when I was in, I don't know, 6th grade, and he didn't like me because he went for the skinny girl, and I just assumed that, oh, it's because I'm fat, because my sister told me I was fat, which I wasn't fat. You see how that builds? And it becomes who we are. Oh no, that person could never like me because I'm not good enough. I'm not as good as that girl. Or I'm not as good as that person because that person's got a degree and in this and I only went to school for this. Or whatever. When you pick it apart, it's so meaningless. This is waking up. This is breaking out of the programming. This is becoming conscious of the real truths and being the real truth and the projection of that and the creation of that better energy field. And you'll draw more of that into you. The creation, and one by one, people, the seeds that you plant grow. And then the collective energy field becomes brighter and more loving and higher vibrational. And that's how you get to whatever you want to call 5D. That's how you do it. So, whole bunch of information, short period of time. Observations of mine. But take the opportunities when you see them just to stand back and be an observer in the situation. What do they need? Why are they doing this? Why are they acting that way? Without jumping to conclusions, well, they're attacking me or whatever. Maybe they just had too much today. Maybe this is built up too far and they just can't control it. They're letting it out. I saw that in the girls when their father died and they were little kids. And they'd fall down and something small would happen. And they'd cry 3 times longer than they should have. It's a release. Understand that when you see it. Communicate well. And if still in that you feel like somebody's attacking you, state the truth. Well, that's not true. Okay. This has always been my intention with you. That was not my intention to make you feel that way. I'm sorry for that. If I did anything, sorry for not doing the things that you thought I should have done. You never communicated to me that that's what you wanted. Can we communicate better from now on? And another thing is to decide what you choose to experience and project that. Be it. If you want love, be loving. If you want peace, be peaceful. We have to stop contributing to that which we detest in our life. Are you part of the problem in the office? Are you part of the problem in the home? Are you being that rock, that role you signed up for? These are the things we need to think about, and it's just a quiet pause when we used to just react on instinct. Everybody is reacting to the energy fields that they step into all the time. All the time. You ever been in a bad mood and you turn on something funny on TV and now you're laughing and now you're not in a bad mood anymore? Why is that? Did the situations in your life change? No. You chose to laugh. That is a very high vibrational, concentrated thing to do. It sucks divine positive energy into you and changes everything. So we're not going to be able to come to many conclusions with this. I just wanted to present some ideas today as we're getting really close to you guys going out, and some of you are going to come into a lot of money. Some of you are going to go out and do some wonderful things. Some of you are going to expand your businesses. Some of you are going to come into situations with family members where they're going to be jealous of you. Okay? Even if you give to them. Take a step back before you react. Assess the situation. Why are they doing this? What are they feeling? If you got a family member that's jealous of you, after this happens, say, listen, I love you, and I'll be there, whatever you need. Whatever you need. There's no reason for you to feel like I succeeded and you failed or whatever. This is just a random thing that happened, and we'll all be better off for it. There's no reason to feel this way. I don't think that you're below me now or anything like that. Address all the possible emotions that could be going on with this person and say, I don't feel that way at all. And you might just diffuse the whole thing with one conversation, than letting it fester and go on for years. And reacting because you feel like you're being accused of something. Understand why they react the way they do. Okay, so I gotta get going. Yep, gotta get going. Right now, all I know is we're looking at tonight and tomorrow. We'll have to see, however, this very critical time right now. See it happening. See the numbers coming out. See announcement. Let's all just focus on the same thing. Let's all experiment. I love that. Love it. All right, here's the experiment. I don't want you to put timetables on it. I don't want you to put specifics on it. I want you to imagine. Most of us are on Telegram, most of us on social media, whichever one it is, or in the email. Depends on you. That you opened it up and all you see are 1-800s all over the place. In every chat room and everything, you see it everywhere it's happened. We're going to focus on that for 24 hours. And we're going to take that pause, and then we're going to feel everything, the excitement that goes along with that. The thank you gods and all that, all the feelings of that. Oh my gosh, okay. Let's call the number and find out what we're going to do. Put it into your promise necklace. And those of you who don't have one, go to God and say, God, Jen said I could have a promise necklace that has my life story in it, and that together with you, we could positively create and put things in it. Can I have that? And he'll say, yes, you can. And then he'll give it to you. And it's it's not imaginary, but it's imaginary. We're going to take positive moments in time. Do not be too specific. Into the promise necklace. Thank you, God. Or B, thank you, God. Let's do that. 24 hours. Or until it happens. Okay, let's just do it until it happens. Let's keep doing that. Whenever you think about it, do that. Okay? And if you all start doing that and it happens tomorrow, that's awesome. All right. That's awesome. Let's do that. Let's stop being, and what we need to stop doing is stop being, oh my God, nothing ever happens. Oh my God, is it ever going to happen? That's why I get so pissed off at people that post that kind of stuff. Yes, I understand your feelings. We're all there. That's not helping the situation. Okay? We got to get out of that. We got to stop destroying our positive creation in our own personal reality. Okay? So let's do that. Okay. Well, I love you all. I got to get to work. Busy. Have a wonderful day. Wait, nope, got to do this first. Bye.